These performances are the stuff of legend, where athletes transcended the competition and redefined what was possible in a single season.
This guy is something else.
From jaw-dropping stats to unforgettable moments,
he's never done this. No one's ever done this.
Each of these campaigns left a lasting impact. Get ready to relive the 10 most dominant seasons in NFL history.
Empty shotgun look. Stafford has it. Again, a four-man rush from the Buccaneers. Deep drop. Big throw. Down the right side. Cooper Kupp's all alone. He caught it at the 30. To the 20. Cuts inside. 10. 5. Touchdown, Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp's 2021 season kicks off our countdown, setting the standard for production and playoff success that all receivers are now measured by.
Stafford again wants to launch. Steps up and deals. Going top shelf. Cooper Kupp all alone at the 10. Touchdown, LA!
The year marked the beginning of a new era for the Los Angeles Rams, who traded for quarterback Matthew Stafford in an effort to win a championship. Kupp, who battled injuries early in his career, was also looking to turn the page. The two vets clicked instantly, and their chemistry was on full display. Every single Stafford pass seemed headed for number 10.
Stafford will load up. Cooper Kupp over the shoulder.
Ball fake to Wood. Stafford throws. It is caught. It is a touchdown. Backpedaling as he throws, and Kupp has got it. What a catch! Stafford end zone. Kupp. He's got it.
Kupp was targeted a whopping 191 times, and his 145 catches are the second most all-time in a single season. He finished with 1,947 receiving yards, only 17 short of the all-time record. Did we mention he found the end zone 16 times? The prolific season secured him the receiving triple crown. Kupp's consistency was unparalleled, recording 90 or more receiving yards in 16 of LA's 17 games in 2021, and he was nowhere near finished.
Deep down the right side. He's got Kupp running down the hash marks. He reels it in at the 15.
Kupp continued to excel in the postseason, amassing 478 yards and 6 touchdowns in 4 games. His 33 catches broke the playoff record, outpacing Travis Kelce's record set the year before. If you combine the 21 games Kupp suited up for in 2021, it's a staggering 2,425 receiving yards and 22 touchdowns. The dominant season ended with a Super Bowl MVP, making play after play on the Rams' game-winning drive.
Kupp, he's going to get it, and more.
Bengals rushing Stafford. He steps up and deals in the middle. Cooper Kupp makes the catch at the Cincinnati 30. Spun down inside the 25.
This is Matthew Stafford, who's now just going to take over the game and go, Cooper, just get ready.
Left. Stafford from under center. Steps back. Throws the fade. Back shoulder. Cooper Kupp's got it! Cooper Kupp brings it in!
Kupp's 2021 performance is a testament to his exceptional skill and consistency, placing him among the greatest individual efforts in NFL history. When discussing the greatest running back seasons, 1977 Walter Payton is rarely ever brought up. We're here to tell you that it's perhaps the most overshadowed elite performance by a running back in a single season.
Because he's going to produce. Second down, 7, a delay to Payton. 30, 35, look out! He may go to the 40, to the 30. Walter Payton down to the 20. Walt Williams is trying to get him, and he's got him just inside the 5-yard line.
In an era defined by punishing defenses and run-heavy offenses, Payton was the engine of a Chicago team that needed every single yard Payton gained. And Sweetness had the most, over 1,800 on the ground and 14 scores, both league highs. Mind you, this was a 14-game season, too. Payton averaged an astonishing 132 rushing yards per game at 5.5 per clip.
Peyton carries the football. Outside to the 30, 35, 40, 45. Peyton out of bounds. Oh, I'm telling you. We don't even have enough time to tell you how great he is, folks. Let's watch him run.
His most iconic performance came on a cold November day against the Vikings. You may know it as the flu game. Payton carried the ball 40 times, rushing for a then NFL record 275 yards, while battling a 101-degree fever.
They won't have a hard time selling tickets here with this young man. As long as he wears the Bear colors, this guy is something else.
Chicago's passing offense in 1977 was inept, ranked near the bottom of every major category. Quarterback Bob Avellini threw for just over 2,000 yards and 11 touchdowns. The Bears were also the youngest team in the league with a head coach who'd won just 11 games entering the season. And get this, no member of Chicago's starting O-line made the Pro Bowl that season or any time else. Sweetness carried a team that would be lost without him, running through stacked boxes with a rare mix of power, speed, and agility.
Payton did not gain over 1,800 yards by simply running over a chalk-striped field. He squirmed and he clawed and he butted and he scratched. And Walter Payton fought for every inch along the way. Against all odds, he helped Chicago win 6 straight games to finish the season. The 9-5 mark was good enough to earn a playoff trip. 4 Avellini interceptions later, the Bears were one and done. But in no way does that take away from all that Payton accomplished. Over 2,200 all-purpose yards and 16 touchdowns. His MVP season wasn't just prolific, it was resilient and historic, cementing Sweetness as the NFL's next elite rusher.
Here's Montana throwing for the end zone. Rice leap. He's got it. Touchdown 49ers. The 49ers have won it.
It is impossible to discuss league-wide domination without mentioning the greatest wide receiver to ever lace up a pair of cleats. There's probably 15 different Jerry Rice seasons we could have gone with here, yet 1987 stands out above the rest.
Throw it in the end zone to Rice. He's got the other 2 top guys in. Yeah, right.
1987 was one of the more unusual seasons in NFL history. Shortened by a strike, Rice only suited up for 12 games. You wouldn't have known it if you looked at his stats. San Francisco dominated the competition, and at the center of it was number 80.
49ers playing just about perfectly so far. Rice! Touchdown! Holy cow!
Look at that. He's perfect. Can't do it any better than that.
Rice caught 22 touchdowns in those 12 contests, the most ever at the time. It still ranks second today, despite teams passing the ball much more frequently, and with 5 more games to work with. He even tacked on a rushing touchdown. Rice scored in every single game he played. He had more outings with multiple touchdowns than games with a single score.
Jerry Rice has had 3 touchdown pass nights. He has 3 tonight, 34 for his career. Do you believe it?
It's no surprise Rice took home Offensive Player of the Year, but he got snubbed for the MVP that season. Even with the Niners finishing 13-2 with the best offense in football, the GOAT finished second to John Elway. So why isn't this season higher on our list? Well, San Fran was stunned in their first playoff game, with Rice largely taken out of the mix. Regardless, what Jerry did in 1987 defined dominance and easily earned him a spot in the top 10. We only have 10 spots on the countdown, meaning even some of the most legendary stretches you'll ever see will unfortunately be left off the list, but we're talking about them anyway.
Griffin, the single setback. Back goes Doug Williams, hit, sacked back at the 30. Eagles pick up the football, running with it downfield. Reggie White, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Reggie White. Reggie White scores a touchdown.
Staying in 1987, Reggie White also put up video game numbers in 12 games. 21 sacks, good enough for Defensive Player of the Year honors.
Rutledge comes back to throw and is hammered by Reggie White. Boy, did he get there in a hurry. And Chris Godfrey. Here's Rutledge back to throw. Down he goes, Reggie White again.
White recorded at least 1 sack in 11 of 12 games. Despite this, Philly's defense ranked 25th in points allowed and missed the playoffs.
3rd down, 3rd and 12, and the ball's out, and recovered by Watt. He's on his feet. He was never touched down. Could he have his third touchdown of the season? Yes, he does. J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt finished second in MVP voting in 2014. He recorded 20.5 sacks, including 11 in his final 5 outings. He was no stranger to the end zone either. Watt scored 5 touchdowns, including 3 on offense in goal line packages.
Find up top of your screen, they go his way. Watt! He's saying he's got it, and he does! Another touchdown!
The most dominant season in the first 25 years of the NFL belongs to Don Hutson. The Hall of Fame receiver won his 3rd Triple Crown in 1942, 74 catches, over 1,200 yards, and 17 touchdowns in 11 games. His numbers were decades ahead of their time.
That guy right there, in my mind, probably changed the wide receiver position as much as anybody who's ever played.
Charlie Hennigan's 1961 campaign set a new standard for receiving production, a single season total that would remain a record for over 30 years. He was the best wideout in the upstart AFL, and his Houston Oilers won the championship that year.
Seems like Washington and Dallas still alive. First down for Adrian Peterson down the sideline. Adrian Peterson is inside the 20 and gonna score.
The last non-quarterback to be named MVP also gets an honorable mention, as Adrian Peterson finished 8 yards shy of the single-season rushing record.
Handoff, Adrian up the middle, bumps it out to the right. He's to the 25-30. Now he's run for more than 2,000 yards. He's running back immortality out of bounds at the 40-yard line. It's a run of 20 yards for Adrian Peterson, and that gives him 2,009, making him the 7th player in NFL history to run for 2,000 yards.
Coming off an ACL tear, Peterson was better than ever after his devastating injury. Our number 7 spot belongs to another 2,000-yard rusher, the first man to ever accomplish the feat. When you hear the name O.J. Simpson today, there is a lot to discuss before his play on the football field. When the focus is solely on the gridiron, there's no doubting Simpson's Hall of Fame level of play. He remains one of the greatest backs to ever touch a football, with 1973 becoming a season for the ages.
Simpson topped 100 yards rushing for the 7th straight game. But more important, the Bills battered an old antagonist 31-13.
The Bills were a franchise deprived of talent, making the playoffs just once during Simpson's career. Similar to Payton in 1977, Buffalo had no aerial attack to speak of, 71 passing yards per game, along with 4 total passing touchdowns on the season. Despite this, the team still finished 9-5.
Early in the game, Simpson escaped on an 80-yard touchdown run, signaling the birth of what became the most prolific rushing attack in the history of the National Football League.
In 14 games, the Juice tallied 2,003 yards. While other backs have gone on to surpass that number, they all did so in extended seasons. Simpson's 143 rushing yards per game remains the record over a full year, 10 more than the next closest player.
On 39 bone-wearying carries, another NFL record, Simpson rushed for 159 yards, and Bills fans saw the Juice near the magic mark.
Simpson broke the century mark in 11 of his performances, and his 12 rushing touchdowns tied for the most in football. Still nearly 300 yards short of Jim Brown's single-season record after his 12th game, O.J. took it to another gear to close out the season. A combined 419 yards in his final 2 contests put him past Brown and into the record books as the NFL's first 2,000-yard man.
Simpson running left. Simpson breaking loose. And there it is! He got 5, and this crowd, his whole team is gathering around him and congratulating him. Hit him on the head. There isn't a person sitting down. Give credit to these Jets fans. They came here to see him break the record. There's no doubt about it.
O.J. was the entire Bills offense, and while his life after football certainly stained his legacy, what he did in 1973 was nothing short of extraordinary.
Tomlinson off the left side. Tomlinson sidesteps. Hello, history books. You think of all the legends of the game, whether it's a Jim Brown or a Gale Sayers, and no one has ever raised the bar to 29 until now.
Wait, he scored how many touchdowns? You're reading that correctly, folks. In 2006, Chargers great LaDainian Tomlinson found the end zone 31 times, a record that still stands decades later. And that's not even the craziest part. LT did all of this by his 14th game.
And Tomlinson's going to make him really pay for it. LaDainian Tomlinson will get a block from Jackson and will go all the way for the touchdown.
Tomlinson was putting together video game box scores only replicated by your 99 overall Madden creation. He paced the league with over 1,800 rushing yards and scored multiple touchdowns in 10 separate games. Many came in crucial moments, helping San Diego secure a league-best 14-2 record.
It's Tomlinson, has a hole, breaks a tackle, touchdown again, LT.
Tomlinson's 186 points set the new single-season mark, breaking a 46-year record held by Paul Hornung. LT averaged 5.8 yards on his 404 total touches, transcending running back production. Did we mention he could catch too? 56 receptions, putting him over 2,300 yards from scrimmage on the season. His trophy case was desperate for another shelf, winning 2006 MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and the Walter Payton Man of the Year simultaneously.
Here he is, left side, Tomlinson. Second effort is in. Chargers from the 3. Tomlinson cuts outside. No one's going to get to him. Touchdown, San Diego.
San Diego was unable to make a playoff run, but LT did all he could. Another 187 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns against a vaunted Belichick defense. Tomlinson could produce against the Monstars, let alone any NFL defense. Let's just hope you had him on your fantasy team.
Hurts in the gun. He backpedals. He's looking. Still looking. He fires it out in the flat to Barkley, who beats one man, spins past another, leaps over a third, and comes down at the 30.
What was that? I've never seen that move, and I've been watching football all my life.
We only have to go back to 2024 for our number 5 selection. From start to finish, Saquon Barkley put together the most dominant campaign ever for a running back. Let's rewind. Philly had a disappointing 2023 season to their standards, failing to win a playoff game. The offense was criticized, and it was clear the team needed another weapon. Thanks to the Giants, Howie Roseman delivered the goods, signing a superstar running back in his prime. Saquon literally hit the ground running.
Saquon Barkley! Saquon Barkley's the guy! He's gonna take it! Touchdown from 65!
At their own 30 with Saquon Barkley as the running back. And you said it, Chris. Big opening. Barkley let loose. Saquon will take it the distance. Touchdown.
Handicapped by being the sole focus for defenses in the past, Barkley took full advantage of a talent-laden Eagles offense and showcased his freakish athleticism all year. He became the 9th back to eclipse the 2,000-yard threshold and could have had the single-season record if he didn't sit out the final game. Combine that with 15 total touchdowns and 5.8 yards per carry, Saquon ran away with the Offensive Player of the Year. But here is why we're ranking Barkley's 2024 campaign ahead of LT, OJ, and Payton. Unlike the trio of legends, Saquon kept pouring it on through 4 playoff games. Come January, he got even better. 574 total yards and 5 more touchdowns in 4 postseason games.
118 yards and adding to it. There goes Barkley into the clear, through the snow, all the way home. He's hit another home run, and this one might send him to the championship game.
205 rushing yards in the snow against LA in the divisional round. The ultimate home run threat had 7 rushing touchdowns of over 50 yards in 2024. Barkley made heroic efforts look routine. His very first touch in the NFC Championship exemplified such.
Under center on first down, he pitches it out to Barkley, takes off to the outside. He's at the 50, he's at the 40, he's at the 30, he's gonna go! 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Saquon Barkley!
Barkley.
Saquon and the Eagles sealed the deal in Super Bowl 59, blowing out the two-time defending champs. All told, the star back amassed close to 2,900 yards from scrimmage in 20 games. There's no recency bias with this one. Barkley's efforts belong in the pantheon of all-time seasons.
Takes the snap, gives to Dickerson, turns right. He is at the 40. He's got it. And a brand new single-season rushing record for the outstanding star from Southern Methodist.
Perhaps no omission from our top 10 will garner more controversy than 1984 Eric Dickerson. His 2,105 rushing yards remain the most ever in a season, and he was the engine to a Rams offense that made the playoffs.
Dickerson could be gone. Eric Dickerson to the end zone.
Dickerson, first down, up the middle. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown, L.A.
Ultimately, Dickerson didn't match the yards per game of Simpson, and his 14 touchdowns were less than half of Tomlinson's in 06. Dickerson didn't get a shot at an extended playoff run like Barkley. Also safe to say he was overshadowed by Dan Marino's record-setting 1984 campaign and an eventual Super Bowl win by the division rival 49ers.
Stafford's got it. Four-man rush. Sets the pocket. Throws. Got Calvin. There's the record. Calvin turning the corner at the 30. 35-40 and runs out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Megatron into the history books, breaking Jerry Rice's all-time record for receiving yards in a season.
Another record breaker that just fell short is Calvin Johnson. In 2012, Megatron's 1,964 receiving yards set the new single-season mark. Despite this, Detroit finished 4-12, and Johnson only found the end zone 5 times. Rewind all the way back to 1952, where Rams rookie cornerback Dick Night Train Lane picked off 14 passes in 12 games. He had 6 of them in the last 2 weeks alone, including a pair of touchdowns.
The crushing blow was administered by the defense, which draped Stabler in silver and black, while Lester Hayes went up for 1, then took off for 6.
Lester Hayes picked off 13 passes in 1980, but his postseason came with even more success. Hayes tacked on another 5 interceptions en route to winning the Super Bowl with Oakland. 18 total picks in 20 games. Can't do much better than that.
First and 10 at the 42.
Takes the handoff, big rush. He's hit! TJ Watt has the sack back at the 5-yard line, and that breaks the record.
We didn't forget the single-season sack kings. Michael Strahan and TJ Watt each recorded 22.5 sacks in 16 games, winning Defensive Player of the Year in the process. They set the bar for pass rushers, but neither took home the MVP, something that can't be said for our next dominant season.
Son, I gotta do better than this.
Only one defender cracks the countdown, and who better but LT to be the one? In 1986, Lawrence Taylor was a destroyer of worlds, single-handedly shutting down offenses. He was the guy on every single team's game plan, yet the pass rusher still tallied 20.5 sacks.
Jaworski, sack, Taylor.
Jaworski looks right, is sacked by Lawrence Taylor. Jaworski, look out. Jaworski ducks under the first man. Lawrence Taylor was there. Can't find anybody, but can buy some time. Lawrence Taylor took Cunningham down.
Taylor prioritized instincts over assignments. It made him more unpredictable and terrifying for opponents to deal with. He had 4 games with 3 or more sacks, perhaps no contest more crucial than a Week 14 clash at RFK, the 11-2 Giants visiting 11-2 Washington with division supremacy on the line.
Schrader goes back to throw. Taylor is loose. Lawrence Taylor gets his 3rd sack.
Right here, it looks like he just shot out of a cannon.
Largely due to Taylor's efforts, New York allowed less than 15 points per game en route to a 14-2 record. He became just the 2nd defensive player to be named NFL MVP, and his dominance continued in January.
Montana back to throw. Going deep, it's going to be picked off by Lawrence Taylor, and he's got a lot of room to run. Taylor is in the end zone. Rice was the receiver.
LT's pick six against the great Joe Montana was the exclamation point on a 49-3 throttling of the Niners in the divisional round. In the conference championship, Taylor and the G-Men pitched a shutout against rival Washington. His tour of terrorizing offenses was capped off with the win against the Broncos in Super Bowl 21.
Tackle lined up at tight end. Knocked out of bounds at about the 3 by Lawrence Taylor.
LT's 1986 campaign can be encapsulated in 6 simple words. He came, he saw, he conquered.
Manning out of the gun. Manning lets it fly. It's caught by Thomas. There's the record for Peyton Manning. 51 touchdowns. The new single-season mark.
Now back to the best of the best. To fully grasp how incredible this year was, we have to rewind back to 2011. At the age of 35, Peyton Manning underwent multiple neck surgeries and missed the entire season. After going 1-15, the Colts made the decision to move on from Peyton and draft a quarterback with their first overall pick. Many were quick to write this off as the end of his remarkable career.
To Colts fans everywhere, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I truly have enjoyed being your quarterback.
But the Sheriff signed with Denver that offseason and quickly proved he still had plenty more touchdowns to dish out. In his second year with the Broncos, he produced the best statistical season from a quarterback the league has ever seen.
And Manning will throw wide open to Julius Thomas for the touchdown. Again, Manning off the play fake throws, and over the middle it is Thomas.
Peyton Manning to Andre Caldwell from 28 yards out. And he's got a Denver touchdown.
The outside, and he's caught and spinning away for the touchdown. Rolling right, wide open, and Manning airing it out, and a fingertip catch.
DT is a screen pass, and he's off to the races. DT at midfield, and he is long gone. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He walks into the end zone. Touchdown Denver, and if it stands, that will be Peyton Manning's 7th.
In the very first week, Manning threw for 462 yards and a record-tying 7 touchdowns against the reigning champion Ravens, and he never looked back. At the age of 37, Peyton shattered NFL records with 5,477 passing yards and 55 touchdowns, both single-season marks that are still going strong even with an added game.
Going deep, oh, he's got Thomas! Goodbye, touchdown!
Orchestrating Denver's high-octane offense with surgical precision, Manning led the team to a 13-3 record. They scored 606 total points, the most by any team in a single season. He threw at least 4 touchdowns in 9 different games, and the offense scored 35 or more points on 10 separate occasions.
Peyton still has the football. Can you believe it? Peyton Manning runs it in for the touchdown.
Peyton with a play fake, bounces around, throws to Decker in the end zone. Touchdown, Denver! The 4th touchdown pass of the game.
Averaging a hair under 38 points per game, Manning's top 4 receivers all put up double-digit touchdowns. Top that off with an NFL-high 450 completions and a passer rating of 115. The MVP race was all but unanimous.
Play fake, Peyton, first down, throws, touchdown to Demaryius Thomas. And they are headed to Super Bowl 48.
Manning's intelligence at the line of scrimmage, unmatched pre-snap reads, and relentless accuracy made every drive a scoring threat. Though the season ended in a Super Bowl loss, he mastered the quarterback position and has the numbers to back it up.
Marino back to throw. He will fire it down the far side. Caught by Duper at the 50. Down to the 40. He may go. 25, 20. Duper scores.
In 1984, Dan Marino became a record book's worst nightmare. In just his second season in the league, he shredded almost every conceivable passing mark there was. In an era where the aerial attack was still widely underdeveloped compared to today, Marino's arm helped put up numbers once considered impossible. Up until 1984, the record for passing touchdowns in a season was 36. Marino shattered it by week 14, finishing with 48.
Here's Marino, wide open field, throws for a touchdown, and there's the record. That's number 37, and he threw it to Jimmy Cephalo.
He also had the first ever 5,000-yard passing campaign. Only 5 other signal callers had even surpassed the 4,000-yard threshold in a single season to that point. Think about that. Marino also led the league in passer rating and TD percentage, earning MVP honors.
3rd and 3, and Payton is wide open. Watch out. And there he goes. Do you believe it? They can't strike from anywhere.
Miami went a staggering 14-2 on the season, and their 513 points was tied for the second most all-time up to that point. Young receivers Mark Clayton and Mark Duper became stars thanks to Marino's heroics, each tallying over 1,300 yards and a combined 26 receiving touchdowns. Clayton even broke the record for receiving scores in a season.
Deep drop, throwing deep upfield down the near side, man open, touchdown for the Dolphins.
Miami steamrolled the AFC, and a 45-point outing against Marino's hometown Steelers put the Fins in Super Bowl 19. They fell at the hands of the 49er dynasty, but his impact on the position was already being felt. Simply put, Marino revolutionized the modern passing game. His performance remains a benchmark for all upcoming quarterbacks looking to make a name for themselves today. From one second-year quarterback to another.
Minimum rush this time. Now they're throwing down the field, adjusting the rock. Caught! It's caught by Demarcus Robinson. And Patrick Mahomes now has hit 5,000 yards passing and 50 touchdowns in a single season.
In 2018, Patrick Mahomes became the 3rd quarterback ever to throw for 50 touchdowns in a season. Pretty unbelievable to think it was his first year as a starter. Kansas City scored the 3rd most points in NFL history, making it all the way to the AFC Championship. 4 years later, he won MVP again, amassing the most yards of total offense in one season, not to mention a second Lombardi. Dominance is not limited to offense and defense either. Devin Hester recorded 7 touchdowns as a rookie in Chicago, with his most memorable coming on the first play of Super Bowl 41.
Here he goes. It's Hester. Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Hester followed it up with another 6 in 2007, showing the world that this return ace was no one-season wonder.
Seemed like everything I did was right. The 49ers were slipping, the rest of the Bears were slipping, but Gale just walked through everybody.
With that game just 2 minutes old and the field slick from rain, Gale Sayers sprints past the prospectors for an 80-yard screen pass touchdown run.
The greatest rookie season ever gets an honorable mention as well. Phenom Gale Sayers scored 22 touchdowns in 1965. He even had 6 in one game, which many regard as the greatest performance in the history of football.
Warner to throw. Going deep downfield, adjusting for it is Isaac Bruce, and Isaac Bruce threads his way for a touchdown.
The ultimate Cinderella story. Kurt Warner went from bagging groceries to the maestro of the greatest show on turf. The 1999 MVP threw 41 touchdowns, but most importantly, capped off the season by winning the Lombardi Trophy.
Brady out of the shotgun, looks to the left, fires to the left, and it is a spectacular catch in the end zone. What a catch by Rob Gronkowski.
Our final shout-out goes to the best season from a tight end ever, 2011 Gronk.
Gronkowski's the motion man, Brady's going to him. It was well read that he couldn't bring him down, and Gronkowski to the end zone.
In only his second season, Gronk scored 18 total touchdowns, the most ever by a tight end in a single season. 90 catches and over 1,300 yards were a career high too. His chemistry with Tom Brady was at an all-time high that year, but it's another superstar that gets top billing alongside the GOAT.
Brady with time, going back again to Moss. Touchdown Patriots. And Brady and Moss hook up on a record catch.
The most dominant year we've ever seen, a passing duo that rewrote the record books and set the standard for single-season excellence. In 2006, Randy Moss was being wasted away in Oakland. Desperate for a change of scenery, Bill Belichick jumped at the opportunity, dealing a 4th-round pick for the future Hall of Fame wideout. It only took the first game of the season for the league to be put on notice. The pairing of Brady and Moss was an instant sensation.
Like a statue in the pocket. Able to go long for Moss. Moss has his first touchdown as a Patriot.
That regular season, Moss hauled in 23 touchdowns, a new NFL record. The Freak caught multiple touchdowns in 8 different games and had at least 100 yards in 9 of them. His best performance came against the Bills in Week 11, a 4-score first half in prime time.
Brady again to the end zone, and that one is caught. 4 touchdown catches for Moss tonight.
While Moss was shredding secondaries, Brady was cooking up the best season of his legendary career. He was the first quarterback ever to throw for 50 touchdowns in one season, winning league MVP. Always known to do more with less, Brady finally had a superstar on the outside, and he took full advantage.
Brady for Moss. Got it back through. Another touchdown.
Brady's 117 passer rating topped the league, as did his 4,800 passing yards. Helped to have Wes Welker in the mix too, a machine in the slot all year long. Brady threw 3 or more touchdowns 12 different times, but the most impressive thing about the season was the team's success. New England became the only team in NFL history to have an undefeated 16-game regular season, and their plus 315-point differential is the highest ever.
Brady going deep for Moss at the goal line. Oh, did he catch that touchdown?
And look at Randy Moss go up, fight for the football.
They handle the rush this time. Brady going for Randy Moss in the end zone. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
This season obviously can't be discussed without addressing the 50-ton elephant in the room. We all know what happened in the Super Bowl. Despite this, though, we can't ignore the chokehold Brady to Moss had on the NFL. The two combined for the most prolific single season in history, something we've never seen before and hasn't been replicated since.